Hello, everyone, and welcome to Season 2 of Owlet, where my name's Futmob, and I am here tonight casting with my partner, Toots. Welcome, Toots.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, so we're moving into Week 2 now. This is Week 2, Day 2, and we have a great matchup on our hands tonight. We have WisdomOW against Boosted by the Way. So we've been given the team cards, both sides. Toots, what's your kind of take on the match tonight? What's the story to tell here?
Okay, so WisdomOW is coming off of a 3-2 win against Power Naps, and Boosted, by the way, is riding high off of a 4-0 against Older Watch.
Yeah.
Now, Boosted, by the way, has a slightly higher rank right now, 6th compared to WisdomOW's 8th. So we think WisdomOW might have something to prove here for us tonight.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. So looking at their map records right now, after this week's first match, I think those on Saturday and Sunday. So Boosted, by the way, they have a map record right now of 9-3, while Wisdom have a map record of 7-6. So kind of lukewarm there, I would say, for WisdomOW. And they're both kind of running mid-table right now. So looking at the map pool that we've got for this evening, I'm really intrigued right now to kind of see what type of comps these teams are going to be running out. We're going to be starting out on Lijiang tonight. We'll then be moving into Junkertown, followed by Volskaya and Eichenwalde. And if it's all tied up after that, we're moving on to Oasis. So just looking at the maps right now and based on, what both teams tend to play the most. And, according to at least WisdomOW, they're a fan of goats. Looking over here at Boosted, by the way, I think they've got some more flexibility maybe on their team. I'm looking at players like Lokai, for instance. Any standout players for you at this point, Toots?
Well, from the player card here, I have that Boosted, by the way, 2 of their players are Zarya players. And there's also someone whose favorite hero, Delicious's favorite hero, is Reinhardt. So, we're talking about flexibility. I see a Diva as well, but that's Foxer. But it looks like they might kind of want to run goats based on sort of what their tank preferences are. They might run 2-2-2 with like a Rein Zarya, but then again, if we're looking at Lijiang, Junkertown, Volskaya, and Eichenwalde, these are maps that I think, a couple of them you can run goats through, but there's also a lot of dive opportunities.
Yeah, I mean, I would be really, really surprised to see at least goats on Junkertown, especially on point one, right? I mean, now, I don't think it's out of the question, at least tonight, that we might see one of the teams maybe bring out a May, maybe try the UK stall strat on point one. That would be awesome to see. I would love to see something like that. There's multiple points where you can kind of stall it out on Junkertown, but then you have like Lijiang, right? And you've got 2 points that are maybe more kind of tailored towards goats, and I'm thinking Control Center here, and I'm thinking Night Market. But when it comes to Gardens, right, we have a little bit more flexibility when it comes to the comps there.
Absolutely. Map opens up a lot, and you see a lot of Pharah on that map. For that matter, sometimes even on Night Market, you see some Pharmacy is played as well. So I think we might see even a bit of diversity with that map.
Yeah, and I'll say this much. We talk a lot, especially when it comes to teams in Owlet, that SR doesn't matter, right? So looking at these teams on paper, though, they're both around 3.1K when it comes to their SR. So, on paper, yeah, it's very tight tonight. Looking at the standings, also pretty tight, right? 6th versus 8th here. So, when it comes back to that story of, one of these teams having something to prove, I think Wisdom does have something to prove. And maybe this means that when they're coming out there with their comps tonight, maybe they need to change it up, right? Maybe they're going to show a different card tonight, right? Maybe they're going to bring out something there that Boosted by the way, is really going to have to recognize and maybe try to counter, right? I'd love to see that tonight, some counterplay instead of both teams going goats to goats tonight. But, we're going to be getting into the action here pretty soon. We're just letting everybody know that we're ready right now. And, man, I'm excited for this match tonight, Toots. So.
Yeah, I can't wait. I'm hoping to see a really tight match. I mean, when we have teams that are ranked so close together, you can't hope but expect a tight game.
Yeah, so we are heading into Lijiang Tower right now, so let's see what we load up into here. And it looks like the first map, we do have Night Markets. Like we discussed here, both teams could potentially run
initiating match.
See here, maybe a Sombra. You could even roll out a Doomfist. I know he was recently nerfed, but there's still teams who are running Doomfist here. So, some type of dive comp here potentially, maybe running with an Ana. That's it. I mean, still a very high probability here that we run goats to goats. So Looking at the goats to goats setup, Toots, let's talk about Zen goats versus Moira goats versus Ana goats here. Which ones do you think have the advantage? Which ones would you rather play in this particular map?
I think I like sort of Zen goats here and Moira goats. Ana goats, I mean, I don't know sort of if the sightlines favor Ana and safe placement of her that much. I think you can probably speak to this a little bit better than I can.
Yeah, being an Ana main myself. Yeah, so, I do like Ana on this map, but I like it with dive. Now, looking at both teams here, it does look like they're bringing out the Zen goats to start with here. Now, what are your kind of keys to victory here when it comes to Zen goats? What are we looking for when it comes to the fans out there who are watching the match tonight?
They're going to be having, I think it's all relies on the Zarya's bubble usage. I think cooldowns are very important, but they're going to need to remove Discord from their Rhines when it gets put on them so that they can engage and push forward and drop shield.
Yeah, now we do have a surprising kind of take here. It does look like at this point that they're heading directly to point, actually. So I wasn't necessarily expecting this setup actually here from WisdomOW, and it does look like we have the first picks here actually from Boosted by the Way. So they're actually taking control right off the bat, but Panda does go down. So I do think this fight's probably going to be over at this point, though. They are pushing forward, and it does look like Boosted by the Way are going to be the first to take this point here. So takeaways from that particular point. What caused them to take that point so quickly there, Toots?
I think Delicious is playing more aggressively, and Envy isn't playing into that. You saw that he died to a pin. You should always be countercharging, and unless he got stunned, shield stunned by the Brigida, then that shouldn't have been happening.
Yeah, now looking at the health bars right now, it does look like Boosted by the Way are really starting to hold their ground, and Vivo is going down a little bit low here. Massive shatter possibly coming in. Okay, no one got hit by the shatter right there. It does look like Yaxum went down, Foxers, and then we have the trance out here on the side. Memory with the trance out. We have counter trance on the side of WisdomOW. Big bomb coming in. No one's down by the bomb here. It does look like this fight's just stalling out right now. Each teams are even right now. But it does look like WisdomOW is pulling ahead. We see Envivno heading to point now, and they really need to take down Panda. He is fully charged right now. They're chasing after him. It does look like Flamia does go down on the point. Fox are going down next. Yeah, and it does look like Wisdom is going to be able to take this point back over. Now, important here, Panda was able to get out of there with energy here, and does look to be farming grab. I think we have a grab coming in here next fight.
This placement should be punished.
Yeah.
The positioning here by Kev.
Yeah, they're playing a bit passive right now. I'm expecting to see a grab bomb this next fight. Lumbo's probably going to have to wait just a little bit here to use his ult, though, to counter this. That said, Elias can also get a grab out here, right?
Yeah, I think it's about who gets the grab first here.
Yeah, there's no defensive on the side right now, Boosted by the Way, so this could be big, actually. Here comes in and Delicious gets deleted. Absolutely deleted there, and this fight's going to be over before it even began. Looks like WisdomOW is taking this fight. Now, looking at the time right here, we're at 30% and 52%, and they really need to take Panda Bear out.
Yep. I think, honestly, Envy's going to have to get a shatter here to deal with the grab that's for sure going to be coming out of Panda.
Yeah, I'm looking for them to maybe speed in here with Yaxum, maybe get a bash in on the Reinhardt potentially, but they really need to bait out these cooldowns. I think they're playing a bit too fast right now. A lot of teams play Zen Goats way too fast, and right now I think this is a perfect example of that. Now, I do believe that WisdomOW is given a bit too much space right now, allowing them to essentially walk in for free here, but, looking at it right now, we do have a grab on the side of Boosted by the Way. This bomb's going to be massive here. Didn't get anyone at all, but another bomb, counter bomb coming in right now. Again, nobody. Delicious with it, and he gets bashed. Delicious gets bashed in the middle of his Rhine ult. So it does look like we have the ult on the side of Yaxum here with Brigida, and they're going to be pushing back. This fight again is over, and surprisingly here, really, WisdomOW giving Boosted by the Way, a run for their money here.
Oh yeah. Look at the grab charge compared to Elias. Elias has his up, Panda Bear Kev is at 40%.
Yeah, I mean, Elias, he just farmed it right there. I mean, he really did just farm it right off of the team. Yeah, I don't think they're going to be able to make it to the point here. Delicious is going to get deleted. He does get deleted. Memory's coming in here with the trance, but this isn't going to be enough. This first point here is going to be going to WisdomOW. And you know what? This wasn't even really that close. I mean, they may have taken point first, but, after that, I mean, I think it was a lack of initiative on the part of Boosted by the Way, and really just kind of, am I wrong here? Is Delicious coming back in? Are they going to turn this around again?
There's no way.
Yeah, there was no way, right? Okay.
Well, yeah, when Goat splits up, there's just nothing that can be done, and so it's like you can tell even when there's someone who can get to point and stall, it's not like other comps, right? Like if it splits up, it's everybody dies.
Yeah, I mean, it did look like there was a little bit of lack of focus there from Boosted by the Way, especially when it came to what their game plan was going forward, right? You know, are we playing Shield Break here? Are we going to play a little bit slow? Because you do have to play Zen Goats a bit slow, and we just didn't see it on their part there. Now,
Wisdom gave them a lot of space. You know, we were talking, you know, they were kind of playing on point. You should really be holding closer to choke when you're running Goats, especially Goats v Goats. But they initiated with their ults in a very timely manner, and that's really what you have to be doing to hold a point.
Now we have an interesting comp here actually on the side of yeah, I know, WisdomOW. They're running here with a Pharah and a Mercy, and they have Lucio, so they have very low sustain, but they also have a McCree. So it's almost like they're trying to create like a jack of all trades comp here. I'm not a big fan of it right now. I think I'd prefer an Ana actually over the Lucio here. But they're going to have to play this slow, and they don't have the sustain. I really think that Boosted by the Way need to really pressure them at this point. They need to push into them. They need to get that Discord on Envy No, and they need to push. And there we go. We actually have a pick from Delicious on Lumbo. That's surprising. Was that a Fire Strike?
Is out.
Elias is going to be going down here, and it does look like Boosted by the Way are going to take this point rather easily here. Again, not a big fan of this comp here. I think they need to swap it up wholesale here. If they're going to be running with a Pharah, I think they need to change it over right now, and they need to be running a Winston here. They need to maybe be running an Ana. There's a lack of synergy right now on the side of WisdomOW. So
yeah, you said it. Like Envy is just going to get continuously run over every single time they push. You need dive tanks so that they can disengage and basically just not feed the entire time, so the Pharah can just start chunking everybody and get value.
Now, they did move Cyberspace over to Brigitte. I do like this change right now, but again, Delicious holding in this corner. The bubble's out, though. Envy knows is going to be going down again. I mean, he's so low right now in the healing, but Lumbo gets a pick on Lokai. This may actually be pretty big here, but the Shatter out right now from Delicious. That was a delicious Shatter right there. My goodness. And then Fox are taking out Yaxum here. This fight is over again. You know, they're trying to build up for the Pharah ult here. They do have Barrage, but where are they going to be able to get it in, right? How are they going to get it?
Foxer has mech.
Yeah, so I would love to see Flamia kind of get a little aggressive here and maybe boop them off the bridge, actually. I think that option is available. You know, that's a way of at least forcing out the Zarya bubbles. Now Zarya bubble out on Envy. And again, they're being a little too liberal. Massive ult coming in from behind, and Foxer had no idea where he was. Oh my goodness. So Lumbo just saying, I'm going to put this team on my back, guys. Don't even worry. I'm going to go ahead and take this point by myself here. So, you know, Lumbo absolutely farming the other team. So, you know, I didn't think it was going to happen. Maybe this was a lapse in ult tracking on the side of Boosted by the Way, but that should not have happened right there.
Yeah, they flew up. She flew up slowly and barraged them. I mean, just classic flank there. Now the question is if Lumbo's going to be able to chunk the team down before they get to point, because if they get to point, they're going to run over Envy again, unless he gets an insane shatter.
And we have Brig ult. They really need to watch this. They might be looking for a Bash Shatter here, though. Envy is setting up for it. The Shatter's down. It's massive. Lokai down. Panda down. And they're pushing in right now, but they need to stabilize. They need to stabilize Envy, right? And Flamia does take out Cyberspace, but this is going to be going over again to WisdomOW here. You know, somehow this is working, and I really do think it's a lack of aggression on the part of Boosted by the Way here. We might be going to a 0.3 here potentially on Lijiang if they don't start getting a bit more aggressive. Now, we do have the win condition coming in though here, right? So what are we thinking we're seeing next fight? Because I'm thinking grab bomb here.
Definitely grab bomb. I mean, I think it's honestly going to be a Q party until they take the point.
Yeah, really. Now this is a free grab. There's no diva on the side of... oh yeah, there it comes. Here comes the bomb. This is probably going to be massive here. And it is, yeah, Elias down. This was the win condition here. They take out Envy, they take out Bobby Smiles, and it does look like they're going to take this point. Lumbo really needs to just either die right now or get back to spawn here, and he's jumping off. So this was a good move on his part. Yaxum needs to jump off or they're going to get staggered here another 10 seconds, and this is not what they want. Yaxum does get staggered. This is big. You know, looking at the time right now, you know, Boosted by the Way is at 82%. That stagger was huge, actually. Yaxum needs to jump off. We need to see some discipline there. But again, we've got Lumbo here, has the barrage. I mean, is it going to be as easy as last time? Boxer needs to keep their eye on. Now, we have a beat engage. This could be big here. Now, the barrage coming in. Again, they do DM most of this. Lokai takes out Lumbo. And it definitely a different story. They were ready for it this time. They do get the res on Lumbo though somehow. This could actually turn the fight. Embo's going over here on Boxer, but oh my god, what a bash by Lokai, stopping the ult there from from Envy. But it does look like they're going to be able to take this fight back over. WisdomOW, because of that res, are able to take this point back over. Panda's going to be good, and they are going to be getting their stagger on the D.Va there. So
wow, that was bloody.
Yeah, was not expecting that again though. But look at the ult economy going into this next fight here. I do think it favors Boosted, by the way. I think Wisdom's going to have a difficult time holding this. They don't have Lucio ult. So.
Sorry, we saw Lumbo get, I think, 30 to 40% as the Goats was entering point, though. So you never know. They might roll up on Barrage as soon as Boosted, by the way, gets there.
Yeah. Now, we do have the Brigitte ult coming out here from Lokai. Now, I really do think, though, that Lumbo's not farming enough right now. He needs to be in there. He needs to be putting in damage. The grab is in, though. The trance is in. The bash, or the shatter, is down. And it does look like they're sustaining through us. The D.Va bomb comes in. This is going to be big here. And it does look like Boosted, by the way, are going to be taking this back. Lumbo with the ult, though it doesn't mean anything. The DM was there, the Zarya bubbles were there, and it does look like we're going to be going to a point 3 here. Envy's not going to be able to get back on point. So again, you know, hey, Flamia gets the boop off. That's what I've been calling for from the beginning. Get the boop. Come on now.
Huge.
Yeah, massive, right at the end. So, you know, again, I wasn't a big fan of Wisdom's comp right there. I think it was at odds with what they were looking to do. But I'm expecting to see probably Goats v Goats here. We might even see a Mei.
I hope we see a Mei.
I think we might be seeing a Mei here coming out on the side of Boosted, by the way here. So I love Mei here. Important though, very important. Wisdom cannot be sucked into White Room here. They need to be playing around point when there's the Mei. If they go up into White Room here, they're gonna wall them off. This first fight's gonna go over to Boosted, by the way, and they're gonna probably take this map. There needs to be discipline on the side of WisdomOW here. They need to know to play main. They can't go up to White Room. They are going up to White Room right now. This could be dangerous for them right off the bat. This is trouble here, guys. He gets, Envy's going to get absolutely destroyed. This is the issue. This is why with Zen Goats, you don't go White Room, and this is what's going to happen. They're going to start rolling through.
Pushing.
The Zen is going to be farming Trance now. I mean, he's already at 27%, and they're farming they're farming Shatter. I mean, you know, you see this every single time, right? Every single time you see Zen Goats go up into White Room like that, you see them get destroyed. You see them get destroyed by Mei. With Zen Goats, you have to run main, and this is exactly why. Now they're in a horrible position for the retake here. And if we're looking at, yeah, I mean, it's going to be really tough. They're going to try to bait it out, but you can't even bait out the Mei wall here with the D.Va. Here comes the wall. They are able to get through it for free for some reason. The counter pin though from Envy, but he gets deleted by Foxer. So I mean, this is again going to be going to Boosted. By the way, the shatter is absolutely massive right there. They're going to be taking out Yaxim. Delicious needs to stabilize though. We can't be losing Delicious here. So yeah, I mean, what a great take there though from Boosted, by the way. And you know, every single time they don't make it through, it's going to be that much more difficult for them to take point here. I'm not sure what adjustment they're going to have to make, but it may be even going in through a different way at this point. They need to group up on the corner. They need to speed through and need to get through together as a team. And they can't let them get through again for free. Panda needs to get that wall up this time. But if you look at how far back Panda's playing, this is going to be tough for Panda even to get a wall up at this point.
I don't really like this positioning for.
But the wall does come out. But there's 5 of them, or yeah, 4 of them that make through. Envy gets actually bashed when he goes to shatter. The Mei ult comes out, and this is looking really bad for Wisdom right now. Lumbo's going to get taken down. Yaxim's already taken down. Elias is going to get taken down, and Bobby Smiles is going to get staggered. Cyberspace was heading to point here, but you know, if he doesn't get back in time, he's going to be losing his mech. They need to chase after him. They could get the massive stagger here on Cyber if they want to. Now, again, ult economy here. Boosted, by the way, is 100% in the driver's seat. And look at all the space they're giving them to move through. Why are they giving them so much space here?
I don't know.
I don't understand this play from Boosted, by the way. They were holding them so well there at choke, and now they're giving them all this space. I don't know what the plan is here, but Fox is looking for an ult.
Afraid of a flank here.
Yeah, maybe, but oh, the pin though, but the excellent bubble there. It does look like Envy's going to be going down low. Lokai is low. The grab is out. Delicious is down. And it does look like the advantage is going over to Wisdom. How is this possible? What were they thinking there? Memory down. It does look like they're going to be able to take this point over. So
did Foxer have grab there?
Foxer did have grab the whole time. I don't know
the whole time.
Yeah, the whole time.
I don't know why they didn't just grab at their choke.
You know, that must have just been a lapse in judgment. I'm not sure who the shot caller is for Boost, by the way.
Must have been a call.
Yeah, but that was an absolute misplay on their part here. Maybe they're trying to make it interesting. I'm not really sure, but that's no way to make it interesting.
I was going to say Wisdom isn't playing around the wall.
Yeah, and now we got a Mei, and they made off their own Reinhardt right there.
That
Wow.
positioning, it's like they kind of forgot that there was a Mei on the other side.
Yeah, it did
Ryan
look
way too far forward.
That said, though, it does look like at this point that they're going to be able to take this point back.
This looks clean, yeah.
Yeah, somewhat surprising to say the least. I wasn't expecting this. Bobby Smiles is going down here, but you know, we look at the comps here, and we're just seeing the strength of the Mei here, right? The Mei is so strong when it comes to control center, and there we go. Yeah, Boosted by the way does take the first map. A lot closer, than I thought it was going to be there.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think that Wisdom was going to even be able to make it through the choke, and they just picked off. So, takeaways at least on this first map here, Toots. When it comes to the rest of the night, we've obviously got Junkertown coming up right now, but what do you?
Because it's like I think Overwatch is a game of mistakes and about minimizing them, and I think we saw them on both sides, honestly. I think we saw Boosted with sort of some weird calls about sort of where to hold, and from the other side we didn't, from Wisdom we didn't see counter picking as much. I mean, so the one thing that you notice is that when you run the Mei comp you lack the D.Va, so heavy damage that comes in is especially potent against that sort of a Mei Goats comp.
Mm-hmm.
I would have liked to see some swaps, honestly.
Yeah, I definitely agree, but at the same time, even if they're not swapping off, I still think that they're playing a bit too fast right now with their Zen Goats. I really do think that, if anything, they should maybe play a bit more from the distance here. They should try to pepper the enemy Reinhardt shield a bit more. Mm-hmm. They've got more shield break than Mei when they're running the D.Va on the side of WisdomOW. As long as they stabilize a bit, they play against that Reinhardt, and they try not to get split so much by the Mei, I think they're fine, but alas, I don't think they were able to adjust as well as they needed to. And yeah, maybe it was comp swaps that they needed to do. But that said, almost a massive mistake on the side of Boosted by the way. They're giving them that much space at the choke. Especially when they had... Yeah, I mean, their ult economy was so good. They could have absolutely turned that in the wrong direction there if they had given up the point and not been able to recap on the next push. The ult economy would have 100% been on the side of Wisdom. So, maybe they knew they had massive ult economy, but then, use the ults, right?
Yeah, why make it why even allow them to contest?
Yeah, that was my question too. Now, enough about Lijiang. We're moving on to Junkertown here. I'm expecting to see some Widow here. I'm expecting to maybe see some double sniper.
I hope. Who are the Widows on each team?
So, I believe it's low side of Boosted by the way. So yeah, Lokai for Boosted by the way. And then I want to say potentially Lumbo.
Okay.
Well, actually, Lumbo's
projectile,
looks like Genji.
Right?
Yeah, Genji projectile. Yeah. So I'm not really sure who the snipers are on the other side right now. At least looking at
Elias,
the
maybe.
Cards
There's the Zarya player.
Yeah, maybe Elias there. Is it Elias or Elias?
Elias. Let's go with that.
Let's go with Elias, or we can even say Ellie. So as long as that's not too controversial for the crowd at home, if we say Ellie. So. Yeah, I like it. We're going to go with Ellie tonight. So we're going to shorten that up, make it easier for ourselves. Now, important here. It does look like Cyberspace is actually the preferred Widowmaker hero on the side of WisdomOW. So I think the keys to victory here are not necessarily always going to be the Widowmakers, especially on Junkertown. Widow's important, right? But really what's important on Junkertown is the way that you control space with your tanks, how you set up the shields, and the way that your team kind of works around those shields, right?
Okay, so, you said set up the shields. Could you tell everybody a little bit more about that? I think you're implying that a certain tank gets run on this map.
I might be. So I'm hoping we don't see Reinhardt. I want to see some Orisa here, all right? Let's get some Orisa going. Now it's important because, especially when you're on defense, there's the option that the team on attack can basically surround you, right? You have coast that you need to worry about. You have the alleyway on the other side towards spawn that you need to worry about. And then you have main, right? So you've got these three entrances basically that, if the attack uses it correctly and the defense doesn't set up properly, you can essentially horseshoe the enemy team, surrounding them from all sides and putting pressure on them from everywhere, right? And basically overwhelm them until they lose their shield. You start getting picks with your Hanzo or your Widowmaker, and you just move forward with it, right? So, one of two things happens when it comes to this when it comes to Junkertown attack defense here. You either get rolled on defense because you don't have your shields in the right place, or otherwise you full hold. That's usually what you see. So
well, when we see them hold up, it's usually like you're saying, you know, it's so easy to get surrounded and for them just to get behind your shield. Usually we see stronger defenses holding very conservatively far in the back at the end of first point.
Exactly. And, you know, a lot of Widowmakers, they try to be a little bit too aggressive on this point. You know, I'm looking for them to almost hold gate, maybe back stairs would be really nice. Water tower in the back would be great. You know, just not so far forward that they're not able to necessarily adjust to the positions of the enemy team. So, you know, the Widowmaker who's going to be doing best is also going to be the Widowmaker who's getting the most help from their Hanzo too. You know, so a lot of Hanzos, what they'll do is they'll be greedy with their sonar arrow. They'll throw it at like the shield of an Orisa, like that matters, right? I'm looking for the Hanzos on each team to potentially help out their Widowmaker by putting sonar arrows where they think the other team's Widowmaker is going to be, right? Let's see how much they help each other out here. You know, it's not just about setting up a crossfire with these snipers, but it's also about setting up a support network with each other, right?
Absolutely.
Being able to use eyes to help the Hanzo, being able to use sonar to help the Widow. So, yeah, I'm really hoping we see some double sniper rolling out here on both sides.
I'm praying for a pirate ship. I don't know about you guys at home, but I'm praying for that Bastion riding the payload all the way to the end with an Orisa shield backing it up.
I want to see two shields. Give me a Reinhardt shield also out there with a Brigitte.
Double down.
Then let's get an Ana and a Mercy here. All right, we are basically putting all of our eggs in one basket here. Give me the ultimate pirate ship here, and make sure to turn skins on so we have Pirate Ana, please. That's what I want to see tonight. All right. Now, looking at the comps here, I don't think Zach's going to be staying on the Bastion here. I think we are going to be seeing potentially a double sniper setup here from Boosted, by the way. Unless, you know, maybe Delicious isn't, you know.
You don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, right?
Just a solo diva tank, you know, that's a thing. It's in my comp matches all the time. Why not here?
I'm not a big fan of the comp right now, though, from WisdomOW. I think the Junkrat, like, okay, if you're going to be playing the Junkrat, you've got to be playing for choke, right? You can't be playing forward here. I mean, you've got to be playing for that kind of like, oh, man, this could end really poor. Now, it does look like we're going to be getting a pause here, actually. From one of the sides. They've asked for a pause. Let's break this down. This is actually good. This is good for us because we can kind of talk about this a bit more here. They're set up at first bridge right now. I would rather see them at this point on second bridge, preparing themselves for the actual choke here, with Lumbo being able to be afforded a bit more space and a bit more safety. Playing that far out, I mean, you've got flanks from practically every single side when you play this far forward on Junkertown. Unless you're playing goats and you're planning to hold them at the actual spawn doors, this could be really bad on the side of Wisdom really quick here. So,
yeah, I agree. Like, I mean, we're talking about Junkrat, and honestly, like, when I think about it, I'm not, honestly, I'm not that crazy about Junkrat here, because, like, so you do have to play back, you have to play choke, and then you have all this wide open space at the end of the objective there, like at the end of the first checkpoint. When you have all that open space, Junkrat is typically not that valuable, and snipers kind of can zone him out.
Yeah,
so he has to play super carefully.
So here's what I'm thinking they're going for with the Junkrat. I think they might be preparing potentially for a Bastion, but even just a Junkrat isn't really enough. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like if you look at their comp here, I would rather them have a Zarya and a D.Va both than for them to have just the D.Va, right? I mean, the D.Va's going to stop 2 seconds worth of Bastion damage coming in, right? But even that 2 seconds worth isn't going to be enough unless you've got a bubble after that, right?
Yep, you have to break shield, you have to get in on the Bastion, and then you either have to dislodge the Bastion or kill him.
Right. Now, they are going to be coming out here. Delicious is on the Orisa, so we have Sniper.
Oh, yes.
We do have Lokai on the Widow here, and we also have Bastion here.
Pirate ship.
Pirate ship incoming. All right, here we go. Now, this is not looking good for Envy. Now, they're going to have to be pushing forward. That drop back was big right there. We don't have any more DM, and they're going to get DMAC'd real quick here.
There you go.
So, yeah, this was not the right setup here at all for WisdomOW. Lokai takes out cyberspace. What a shot. And yeah, it's cleanup at this point. They need an entire comp swap here. Lumbo is not on the right hero right now, and Elias is just going to get staggered here as Baby Diva. This is not good.
Oh, I don't know if I like this reback call.
Yeah, I mean, you just basically wasted 1,200 points of ult charge there to the enemy team. So
and a lot of time.
Yeah, a ton of time there. The charge though in on Foxer. How did Foxer let that happen? What a D-mech there, and this could actually potentially turn around if they get on point quick enough, and they don't. They do give up point one here.
Oh gosh.
So yeah.
This is
Cyberspace still gets Lokai. What a great pick. The pin though somehow on Zach, but he does.
Bastion.
He was at the max range for his charge right there and didn't get him.
Oh my gosh.
That is unfortunate.
So what now? Like, streets are going to be so messy.
Yeah, I think either they need to swap to full dive here or they need to swap onto goats, go up high ground and jump onto the point. Yeah, the regroup is not happening here. Lokai's being afforded a ton of space. Cyberspace is trying to take a flank here potentially with Lumbo, but Lumbo's not going to be able to put in enough damage, especially with the Diva here. I don't like this pick still, and that shield is just going down for Envy here. So again, it just seems like there's maybe not enough communication going on here on what their goal is, what their win condition is. Now, Elias does take out Zach. This is good, but again, I still feel like this fight's probably over. They're going to get the resin. They should be able to get this resin. They're not able to in cyberspace. Big pick there on Lokai, somehow finding himself behind, but gets picked by Foxer. So, it looks like at least right there, cyberspace saying, I need to take this into my own hands here. But even so, I'm surprised right now they were able to take this back.
I'm very surprised. Now it's going to be hard for the retake. That's the hardest thing about running a pirate ship comp is once the Bastion is off the payload, getting back on can pose a huge challenge, especially on this map where the defense has so much high ground to work with.
Now, I want to focus in here on Lumbo. He's only at 62% ult charge, okay? Now, Zach has swapped off of Bastion here, probably recognizing exactly what you said, Toots. It's hard to set back up with Bastion, but I'm not sure about Zach here on Genji. I mean, is the idea to get in there and kind of poke around with cyberspace? I think that's what they're going for.
Yeah.
But he's got some pretty good peel. The Diva Bomb does come in here. The shield's going down, and Envy's going to be pretty much done with his shield. Lokai takes out Bobby. This was a big pick. Cyber looking to potentially return the favor to Zach, and Zach is still just taking everyone out right now. Diva Bomb coming in, though. This could be really big, and it is. Zach and Memory down.
Huge.
Do we have a potential retake here on the side of WisdomOW? Lokai takes out Lumbo again, though. We do get the rise on Memory, though, and I think this fight is going to be going to Boosted, by the way. So, massive bomb there from Elias, but no follow-up. The Reinhardt was dead. They need to back up. They need to regroup. They can't recontest. They do come in, though, with the trance. They are going for this. I think they're looking for a shatter here, though, from Envy. I think the shatter is definitely coming in, but they're feeding all charge to Zach.
I hope they don't shatter.
Yeah, Zach's going to have his blade any moment here, though.
They must be they're swapping, right? They have to be swapping.
Yeah, either that or they just kind of threw bodies at the payload there when they didn't need to. Yeah, I'm not sure what the plan is. I think they set up at lower Mega right now, wait for the payload to come through and rush onto it. I think that's the option. Now, Lokai and Cyber in a fight here. This is going to be interesting. Both of them pocketed by Mercies. Who's going to get the first shot off here? Now, we've got eyes on the side of Lokai, and we do have a Genji swap from Lumbo. Yep. So that's going to be putting pressure then on the other Widow, I think, is what they're trying to do here. They're realizing that they're giving too much space right now to Lokai. Now, cyberspace does take out Lokai. The res is going to be coming in, though. Lumbo's trying to go in to stop the res by himself. This isn't going to work. He needs to watch out. Elias, without boosters, potentially going in, taking a lot of damage. Envy's there, though, to shield him up. And they are putting some pressure now on payload. The Shatter's down, but the Trance is out. And it doesn't look like they're going to be getting much from this one here. Now, looking for Foxer to potentially put an ult in the back. There it goes, into the back. This could be big. Bobby Smiles is down. Now, Cyberspace looking for an opportunity here. The bomb is down. Delicious going down. Envy pushing forward. Foxer might be going down. Flamia going down potentially as well. Lokai is going to have to back up here, and Memory's going to have to get out of there. Cyberspace does take out Lokai here, and they are able to stabilize. So, wow, what a massive amount of ults being put forward. Big plays on both sides here, but Wisdom coming out on top there. Going into this next fight, what's the win conditions for us, Toots?
I honestly think that Boosted is going to be having trouble setting the Orisa back up. Like I expected to see maybe a dive swap here.
We do have the ult on the side. This shield's going to be going down. The blade is out, and this blade is huge from Zach. Oh my goodness. Bobby Smiles going down in a moment here, I would imagine. He's down. And Zach just says, I'm going to take out the entire team, guys. Don't worry, we'll use one ult to get this done.
Hold my beer.
Hold my beer, sir. They did use Delicious's ult, so that is Probably a good ult right there on their side. I mean, it's hard sometimes to get Orisa's ult out, so I do like their use right there as an engagement tool. But it's going to be really tough right now on the side of Wisdom. Are they going to be able to get back in? MV's shield's going down like crazy right now. They don't even eat the halt there on the side of Orisa. They need a touch point, and they.
Oh no!
I'm not going to say letter number right now, but I think they totally forgot about the point right there. Is what it looked like from my perspective.
Big B12.
They B12? Yeah, that sounds about right. Now, hefty time bank here for Boosted, by the way. 2 minutes and 12 seconds. If that's not decisive, I don't know what is. You know, it just felt like there was a lack of answers on the side of WisdomOW there.
Like the comp seemed unusually rigid. Now it looked like they picked the comp that they were looking to use to counter Pirate Ship, right? Like we sort of said, you know, there's a little bit of logic to the Bastion and the Junkrat, but you know, clearly it wasn't working.
Yeah, I mean, the Diva alone stops the Junkrat, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't like that comp unless you're going full dive. I don't think Junkrat is a counter to Bastion. There's, you know, you can't even shield break an Orisa shield with Junkrat alone, right? So I don't know, man. I'm not a big fan of it right now. Looking at the comps here, it does look like we're bringing another Bastion out on the side of Boosted, by the way.
Yes.
Yeah, but we do have...
Is this a counter Bastion?
Counter Bastion Pirate Ship on the side of WisdomOW. We're going to have...
Is today my birthday?
I think it is your birthday tonight.
Oh my! It must be.
It must be. How old are you, Toots? 39 now? I think you're 39 now, right?
39 for the last 3 years.
There we go. It's all right. I hit the big 3-0 recently, and you know, I've never felt older. Never felt older. Now, I love this setup for Boosted, by the way. This is some cheeky stuff right here, if I've ever seen it. Are they going to recognize it? Yeah, they do recognize it. Cyberspace better take a far flank here, and Cyberspace does take the flank. They need to just get to payload, start moving the payload here. Use the payload as cover. There's no reason for Envy to be taking damage to his Lokai, though, taking out Lumbo. What a shot. And Zach takes out Envy. I don't understand why they're not using payload here. Just as cover. Now, Lokai is taking an interesting angle here. Lumbo does take out Delicious, but Lokai returns the favor on Cyberspace. So, you know, there's a lot of things going on right now in a lot of different places is what it looks like to me. I still don't like the Reinhardt. The Reinhardt doesn't have as much shield as Orisa because Orisa gets to constantly revive her shield, right? So, you know, I'm not sure about the Reinhardt pick here, but they do need to start putting some damage into Zach here, especially while the shield's down. So, Lokai's already popped eyes. Think about how quick Lokai built his ult up to be able to pop eyes within the first 45 seconds. We have an ult out on the side of Bastion here, and I think they're going to be pushing him into the corner here. This is going to be looking really bad for Envy here. Bobby Smiles going for a pick on Lokai. Does get that pick. That's really good, but they might be able to res that up. Now, Bobby Smiles does need to get out of there, but I don't think he's getting out of there. I think he's jumping off the edge. He is jumping off the edge with the help of memory there. So he's going
hands.
too far. Yeah, just a helping boop here for a friend. Cyberspace, great pick on Lokai. You know, I'm going to say right now, I think Cyberspace has had the better of Lokai this match so far. The ult is coming in, though, from Lumbo here. This could be nice. Splits the team up. They need to rush onto one of them here.
Yeah, they need to move. Envy needs to get in there on that Bastion.
Zach is being afforded way too much space right now. Lumbo's trying to put some damage into him here, and he does end up actually Yaxum, of all people, the Mercy. It looks like we got a little Neptuno action coming in here from Yaxum here to take out the Bastion. If you can't do it, if you guys can't do it, I'll do it myself. Battle Mercy engaged. So, but Envy's going to be taken out here, and you know, this is the same story we were talking about, right? So you either end up, you know, taking advantage of the positioning of the enemy team, right, and being able to basically force it through to third, or after that, you full hold if you're on defense, right, if you get a good setup. Now, Cyberspace is playing without a shield right here. This is going to be a little difficult for him. Envy, and it looks like the rest of his team are going to be moving through, I don't know about this.
This is going to be a shatter play, has to be.
Yeah, they have to speed, though, but they don't have a Lucio. Now, Lokai gets a huge pick on Bobby Smiles here. He's waiting for a shield to regen, but against Cyberspace...
Oh, he got baited so hard.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, you know, I'm not sure what the plan is right now. They need some speed on the side of WisdomOW, or they're just going to be too slow to these engages. I mean, they're really allowing them to essentially kind of like hold as far back as they want, and they're not able to put enough pressure on them.
And the big problem is every time you reset, Zach, every other fight, Zach is going to have his ult up, right?
Yeah. Now, important for this one here, I would love to see like a massive Diva Bomb. I think it would be great to see. They're on Winston now, which opens up the opportunity for them to actually put in a big bomb as long as they bait out the Winston bubble here. Now, early ult here from Zach actually coming in here. Lumbo around the backside here. They force out the trance. The Axum goes down. And this is not looking good for WisdomOW here. I'm not sure how they're going to be able to get back in on this, but there needs to be some kind of coordinated dive between Elias, Lumbo, and the tanks here. You know, they need to get in there, and now Deflect is out from Lumbo. That Deflect needs to be used once they dive in there. So again,
they have to initiate here with
that. But here we go. MB's going to be taken out, but this could be massive. It is. They do take out Zach. They need to make sure this res does not come in here. The dive in the back here by Envy. They're on Lokai now on the backside. Cyberspace gets a pick. The Diva Bomb is in, and it does take out Cyberspace, but I think they're going to be able to cap point one.
Yeah, that's not
here.
too bad.
Yeah.
Look at that. You switch to Winston. I mean, obviously there's more to it than that, but I think honestly the switch to Winston made Envy's life so much easier because just walking up and playing for the Shatter is so hard.
Yeah, I mean they were giving them so much space too. They weren't able to speed in onto it. Dive was absolutely the right call here. Now, interestingly enough, we have counter dive now on the other side with Boosted by the way. They decided to part ways with their Bastion. And
hello.
Again, Cyberspace, hi there. I'm still alive and I'm going to get you, Lokai. So, you know, my player to watch Lokai here right now is kind of getting a bit, I'm not going to say rolled here, but I'm going to tell you, Cyberspace has got the one up right now in the Widow v Widow.
Lokai's being put in check.
Yeah, I would say so. I'm looking for Lokai to maybe step it up just a bit here. Here they go, 1v1 again here on the side. Cyberspace dropping off a bit. The Blade's coming in here. There's no chance to stop this, and Lumbo's just going to be cleaning up the rest of the team with help of Elias. Bobby Smiles does go down, though, on the counter dive here on the side of Boost, by the way. So, looking at it from my perspective right now, I think that Wisdom is looking like they're in a good spot right now. If they can work on the target focus, they can keep the payload moving here, and they can help with payload on Foxy, or on Foxer, I think they're going to be okay. So yeah, I love the swap up here right now from WisdomOW. I think this is 100% the right call. Looking at the alt economy here, what can we expect from the next fight here, Toots?
I definitely think we're going to see another Valk initiation. Lumbo's rolling up on another Blade, so wouldn't be surprising if damage boosted Valk got him closer, and then we just saw that transition right into a Blade. But that pick is going to help.
Cyberspace again getting the pick on Lokai. Now they don't have a res anymore also on the side of Boosted by the way. I don't like Ana being played on the side of Boosted by the way, especially when you've got a Widow duel going on. I think at this point Lokai needs to swap off. They need to do something a bit different here. Now the dive does go in on the backline here. They're forcing Ana down into the Mega. The counter dive comes in on Bobby Smiles. Bobby Smiles goes down. I'm thinking the Blade's coming in here from Lumbo though any moment here.
Anti's up.
He is down actually though. This may be a reset here on the side of WisdomOW here if they're not careful. And they are going to have to reset here. Elias needs to make sure to keep his mech. But Delicious is pushing in on Elias here. And it does look like Elias is going to be able to keep mech indeed. So, alt economy wise though here, I still think that WisdomOW is favored in this next fight here. I think they engage with Lumbo's ult here. They are on the Ana right now, so he's not going to have as much sustain when he goes in there. We're not going to have the pocket Mercy anymore. So, you know, Bobby Smiles needs to keep an orb on Lumbo as he goes in here. We do have eyes coming in here, and I think first target for them needs to probably be either the Ana or the Zenyatta. They need to take control of high ground, which they do, and Genji Blade does come in. They're going to be destroyed here with this Genji Blade. Now he is deflecting here. He is able to get
that was
one
a huge
pick.
anti.
Yeah, Flame was somehow able to take out Lumbo though, but that anti was massive. Lokai takes out Cyberspace finally, which is awesome to see. And it does look like we have fights happening in two different places. The bomb does come out here. Are they going to be able to stop this? They're not. They do take out Zach, and I think this is going to allow them to move forward a bit more. So, you know, looking at it right now, though, I think Boosted by the way has the chance to stop this next fight here, make this last fight even, and possibly take the map. Bomb does come in here. They're going to be able to stop this. They don't need to. Now, the ult's going to be coming out here from Zach any moment now, and this ult could end up stopping them in their tracks. Here it comes. The trance does come out from Bobby, but the shield's there. They need to watch out for that shield. They need to focus down Zach here. They do end up getting a pick. Lokai gets Cyberspace here. Zach gets Yaxum, and it does look like this may potentially go the way of Boosted by the way. Memory takes out Lumbo, and yeah, this is going to be last fight here. It doesn't look like they're going to be able to get back in here, and Envy is just eating 1,000 alt charge to the other side here. I don't know if they're going to be able to touch here. They do have Tracer, though. It does look like Cyber swapped a Tracer to get the last touch in. But Yaxim is taken out by Lokai instantly. And this is not looking good right now. Bobby Smiles goes out. I don't know if they're going to be able to touch.
Contest it.
Okay. But yeah, at this point, it's just it's futile on the side of WisdomOW. You know, from my perspective here, a little, you know, I guess the best way to put it is a little too late, right? That's my kind of like closing words for this map. A little too late. They waited to swap way too late in the start of point one, and you know, a lot of teams will feel like comfortable because they end up taking point one. But the problem is, even if you end up stalling a team out for like three or 3.5 minutes, something like that, on point one, it's okay because you're playing the objective, right? Even if you give up point one, that's fine. The idea is to play the objective, stall out the point so that when they get up to point three, they're in one fight territory practically the entirety of point three. Yep. So yeah, I mean, great play by Boosted by the way there. They were playing the objective, they were playing the clock, and you know, they rightly deserve this this win on Junkertown here. So Toots, takeaways right now, what do we think we're seeing from Wisdom, and what do we think needs to change on their part heading into Volskaya Industries?
Yeah, I think Wisdom needs to, I mean, it looks like they're sort of doing sort of comps that they're comfortable with rather than sort of what we traditionally view as the optimal choices. Now, I think you can get away with doing that, but the execution needs to be there. And I'm not seeing the execution. I think they need to be trying unusual routes, different positions, and they need to be sort of playing, they need to be playing a janky style if they're running a janky comp, right? Like, you kind of need to work with what you've got. And I don't think that they're doing that.
If you're going to be running those comps, right, I definitely agree with you. I think you need to play a little bit scrappy. I think you need to come at them with some, maybe some creativity with the way that you approach points. You know, for instance, I love the way that Boosted by the way set up. Now, granted, the reason I love the way they set up is because it's different. I'm not going to say that where they set up was effective because, in my opinion, there was an obvious counter to that, which was literally stand on payload and let the payload move while they just hang out in a corner.
Easy.
Yeah, so not a fan of the strat, a fan of the creativity. And I think that's what's so great about Owlet is that you have these teams that are out there and they're trying different things. And, you know, sometimes they come up with some like really cool ideas. You know, and I think that's such a great example of a cool idea of, hey, we're coming together as a team and we're going to do something fun and interesting, something that maybe, you know, the fans that are watching at home might really love to see, you know. And that's what Overwatch is all about. You know, I'm tired of seeing the goats be goats all the time.
I can't tell you how happy I am that we've only seen goats like partially on one of the maps so far.
Yeah, I mean, it's been fantastic.
We're rolling into Volskaya, so.
Well, I mean, we could see some Pharah on Volskaya here. We could see some Sombra. I want to see some spice out there with Sombra. You know, I would even
Torb.
Yeah, spicy Torb pick maybe would be really cool. You know, I love dive on Volskaya. I would love to see a very coordinated dive from one of these teams, running something like maybe a Genji Sombra with an Ana Lucio, Winston Diva, and to really just kind of get aggressive on the back line. You know, get in there, get that work done, scout it out with a Sombra, and then everyone get in there at the same time. Let's get this done. You know, I would love to see something like that at this point.
For the fans, please. We want to see some fast gameplay. We don't want to see some slow frontline walking into frontline and butting heads over and over again kind of deal where you have to drop like 4 ults to get 1 kill. We want to see some fast-paced action. We want to see some picks.
I want to see a Genji dash through and kill people. That's what I want to see. Now, I'm just going to say this right now. You say for the fans. Sure. For me. Just for me and you. Right?
Sure,
like, as casters. For the people who really matter. Right?
I do not endorse what Futmob is saying. His words are completely his own. Hold on. Let me sign some waivers here.
TM. No, but for real, yeah, I totally agree. I would absolutely love to see some dive here. I'd love to see some Sombra. I don't think there's anything more exciting in this game than watching a Sombra EMP an entire team and a bomb come through and destroy everybody.
Well, the setup for it, right? Because we can, all of us, we can see the Sombra just waiting there, right? Like, it's like, ooh, this is going to be so big.
And then it doesn't hit anyone and the bomb comes through and everyone's LOS'd and you're just like, well, that worked. So
Hey, well, we're talking about our team's EMPs, okay? These guys might, they might pull it off.
yeah, for those fans out there, I also play on an Overwatch team. I don't just coach, though
Which I
do.
am the coach of. So
Yeah,
I
which-
am the coach's coach.
Yeah, so Toots is I'm gonna use air quotes. Great coach. No, but I totally agree, and I want to see some Sombra here. I would love to see some Torb. Now, one thing that's so fun to watch is when you have a Torb who knows where to place his turrets, and you have a Sombra on the other team, and every single time that Sombra comes out of cloak to try to hack somebody, the Torb turret's there to just mess with her.
Good.
Oh, it's great. So, and if we're expecting to see some dive, right? Wouldn't it be absolutely great to see a Torb?
Yeah.
I guarantee you. I mean, Torb's going to be countering not only the dive tanks. I mean, there's nothing better than a right click to the face from a Torb, but you also counter the Genji, right? And both teams have shown an affinity to use Genji. So
yes,
I think cheeky little Torb pick would be really cool to see here. So, that said, if we see goats v goats, we'll call it. No, hit Q here, hit Q there. But
we will watch the swell execution on both sides of the goats comp. We will call it like we see it.
Yeah, and nothing will ever go wrong. It will be perfect from both sides, just like it is in Contenders. Which I'm going to tell you right now, having watched Contenders the other night and having watched an entire season of Contenders, I mean, I love Atlanta Academy. I think they're a great team, but man, I don't know if you saw that match, Toots, between Fusion University
no, I didn't.
and
what happened?
So Fusion University, again, they're like 3-time champion now of the actual Contender series. They're like 24-0 in Contenders now at this point. So they're incredible, and they don't just play goats. So a lot of people have kind of asked this question. The reason I'm kind of leading into this here is a lot of people are like worried that we're going to get into the Overwatch League and we're going to see a ton of goats. Fusion University is about as close to Overwatch League as you can get from the Contender series, and they played the least amount of goats out of all of the Contenders teams.
That's comforting.
If that doesn't tell you that goats isn't going to be the meta going into Overwatch League Season 2, I don't know what else does. Now, there might be some teams that feel comfortable on goats, all right? They might feel comfortable on goats. That doesn't mean that all the teams... Yeah, and you should, right? But that doesn't mean all the teams are going to be using it. And there might be certain maps where you're not going to see goats, while other maps you're like, well, it's Control Center, right? We're going to see goats here. Or you'll see Mei, right? So I guess I just want to alleviate any fears that some of the viewers out there might have when it comes to the proliferation of goats in the Contender scene that we've seen so often now over the past 3 months or so. Now, look at what we've got here on this side of Boosted by the way.
This isn't real. This is bait.
This has got to be... Well, I don't think Lumbo and Cyberspace are bait. Those are the two DPS on the team.
I think that's real.
I think that is real.
I think we're going to see a Mercy.
I think we're going to see a Lucio Mercy here, or we're going to see an Ana Mercy. Lumbo's on Lucio. He's going to swap off.
These guys are just baiting us.
Oh, wait, no, that's not Boosted, by the way. Sorry, that is... that is WisdomOW. Yeah, they switched side. WisdomOW now. But look at the side of Boosted, by the way. We have double sniper right now with an Ashe, with an Ana, with a Zen, and we have Ryan Zarya. This is what we wanted to see, people. We've got some different comps coming out here, and it does look like we have scouting coming out here. That's what the call is, actually, when it comes to the Sombra. They are simply scouting right now to see what Boosted, by the way, are using. Now, if they're smart here, they stay on Goats. I think Goats is the right pick against their double sniper setup here, or running a Dote setup, which is Winston instead of Reinhardt, would be really, really good here. Now, they're going to be sticking with the Zen Goats into this. I think Lokai and Zach are going to be afforded a ton of space up here because only D.Va is able to contest them up there. Maybe Lucio. Now, the E does come in here, and Zach gets a big pick there on Lumbo. They may have to stall this out just a bit here. And then Lokai taking out a large Wombat. So, yeah, I think they're going to have to go back to the drawing board on this one here. I don't think they're getting out without their... I don't think they're getting out at all, actually.
I mean, did we see this going differently?
I don't think we did. I mean, we did say they were going to be afforded a lot of space. I did say that they might want to swap onto Dotes here, so maybe a Winston instead of that Reinhardt.
Would do so well against this.
I mean, what kind of peel really does Boosted, by the way, have at the backside right now? If you look at it,
almost nothing.
Zen and Ana are completely open right now, and to be honest, Zach is almost a free pick when it comes to a Hanzo. Hanzo does not have...
What about Delicious?
I mean, yeah, I guess Delicious...
Down by himself.
Yeah,
It's a
I know.
Reinhardt. What's he gonna do?
They can totally ignore him, though. They just need to go up top. They need to force down Flame and Memory onto the point here, and now they're pushing point. Zach and Lokai are going to have a ton of space. Big purple there, though, on Envy, and there we go. Flame takes out Envy. Lokai takes out a large Wombat, and again, this fight is over again. I do not like the GOATS comp here at all from WisdomOW. They need to swap it up, and they need to swap it up now.
But they've done 2 pushes, and they're starting to roll up on ults. What do you think the odds are that they actually switch off now that
I mean, if you really want to say that rolling up on a Zen ult is rolling up on ults here, I guess. I mean...
Well, I mean, you know, that we haven't seen a swap after the first push. I mean, now they're even closer to...
I mean, a headshot arrow from Zach here takes out one person without a trance, right? So, I don't know, man. I'm looking for a dragon here from Zach, though. I think Zach's going to hop down behind, dragon behind them here. That's what I'm expecting to see. Here we go.
Big shatter.
Big shatter. Delicious so gets the nano here, so they might be able to turn this back around. There goes Envy. Envy down.
Let's go.
Delicious taking out Lumbo, and Delicious just carrying this team on their back right now. So, you know, I'm going to say this right now. Delicious carrying there, but really Flame was the big one there.
Yeah.
Being able to keep up Delicious with their Ana play. Absolutely fantastic. What a great nano. If you want to learn how to use nano, you use nano as a heal. You don't use it as an initiation tool, and Flame used it exactly perfectly right there. So, they are rolling up on ults. I'm expecting them to use Brig ult here as they enter in. They're going to sustain with Zen here, and they do have a bomb. They could put a bomb over the Rhine shield to make space to push forward here. Might see something like that potentially. So they are pushing on Delicious, and Bobby gets a big pick on Panda. This is really big right now. The ult here, though, from Bobby Smiles, and it does look like WisdomOW are going to be able to take this point here. So, yeah, you know, they played their game, they waited long enough, and, you know, to be honest, I do feel like maybe Boosted by the Way kind of let them take that point.
I agree.
You know, not on purpose, but they had win conditions, and they just didn't work with them. So, you know, at this point, I do potentially see a roll on the part of WisdomOW. Goats is way stronger in the points here. Bobby takes out Lokai. They don't have a res for this, and I do see the grab coming in here. Now, they don't have an ult here to counter this. They do, actually. They do have Lumbo's ult. They may counter here with Lumbo's ult, actually. He needs to put this down, but he doesn't. They're going in for a dry run at this point. No ults here on the side of WisdomOW.
That was good.
Yeah.
But they didn't drop beat there.
Yeah, you know, they could have dropped beat way earlier, though, in the grab, and I think they should have done that to potentially roll this point. So I think that's a little bit too conservative on the part of WisdomOW. Now, Boosted by the Way is pushing up pretty far. You know, they're farming their ults here, and Lokai does have a really good stall ult here in the way of Bob, you know? So even if they do get rolled, they put Bob onto point here, and, you know, they do stall out for maybe another, 12 seconds or so. Now, Bob does come out early. I do not like the Bob right now. They're maybe trying to stop this fight right here. They do get a big purple though from Flame. My gosh, that was huge. Diva Bomb coming in, not sure what this is for. No picks from that. Delicious carrying again here. But that
very weird.
That nade right there from Flame, that was the turning point in that entire push. I do feel
that was a
like
waste of a bomb before that.
It was a waste of a bomb, but it was also a waste of a bomb. So, you know, I'm not sure what was going through Cyberspace's head there. I know Cyberspace does play DPS, maybe not too comfortable on Diva right now. But that was a throwaway there, and they do need to get on point here before Memory gets their ult, and they're able to sustain through the grab here, especially without bomb. So they do need to push in at this point, and I think they're going to be grabbing them off a point here potentially. It should be coming in any moment now from a large Wombat.
Shatters, let's see him.
Now, the grab does come in on Delicious, but the counter shatter there from Delicious is huge, and exactly what they needed at that point. And they do go in on Envy. Envy is down. Zach takes out Envy, and it does look like they're going to be able to hold on to this point here. So, you know, what a great trade there on the side of Boosted by the Way.
I don't know if that's necessary.
Yeah, that was a bit of an overall there on their side. But Bobby, you know what though? This works out. They get lucky though because Bobby Smiles does pop trance there. So because Boosted by the Way still has their trance, I do see them still having a pretty sizable advantage going into this next defense here for them. 2 minutes left on the clock.
At the end of the day, Futmob, it is all about sending a message to the enemy team. Just solo grab into Dragon on one person. Send a message. I want you dead.
I don't know if that's the message I want to send. I'd rather send the
message
by
winning. As a coach, I don't want to see
but
it.
Yeah, but you know, as a player, yeah, if I've ever seen it. Now, bomb coming back in here. The shatter though, and the counter shatter though from Envy is really big here. But the count, okay, Memory does come in with the trance. So we did talk about this, about how Boosted, by the way, would have the advantage here because they had the trance on their side. But we are getting some picks here on the side of Wisdom. But, you know, without their Reinhardt, they're still at a disadvantage on this push. Lumbo takes out Memory, though. Are they able to turn this around? You know,
this would be amazing.
Zach, what a pick by Zach there. That is exactly what they needed. Lumbo ends up throwing out his ultimate here. Not needed. And this fight, again, is over. I can't help but say that at this point, I'm finding some maybe lack of discipline on the side of WisdomOW when it comes to the way they're using their ults here. You know, these fights are clearly over when they're pushing in, and they're just throwing them out. I mean, let's talk about spawn advantage here a little bit for the defense, right, Toots?
Yeah, you basically need to win 2 team fights if you want to take the second objective of Volskaya. You have to win the first one to actually start taking the point, then the team gets to recontest. And if you're trading people back and forth, generally that's not going to be enough to keep the attack going.
Yeah, I mean, you need 2 to 3 picks at least for every 1 pick on the other team, right? Especially when you're on attack. So, Lokai getting that pick on Bobby, and this attack's probably going to be over now at this point. This bomb coming in is just not going to...
Oh my gosh, that's a surprise.
This bomb coming in is not going to be absolutely amazing, and it is. It's huge, but are they going to be able to take a tick here? Yaxem pops all here. I think they're going to be able to take a pick, but Memory just ended up farming all... You realize how quick Memory popped that ult? My goodness.
So
and then we have the charge coming in from Delicious right on Wombat. He's down. So, oh my gosh, what a shatter by Envy, though. I don't know if Bob's going to be able to keep him up here. They still only get a tick, though. They need 1 tick here. But they all, though, right on Delicious there is what's going to turn this around here. Yeah, so they end up they do end up full holding here on point 2. Not a single tick.
You can't even see how much is left for that first tick, but they didn't get it.
32.999% is what it looked like right there.
Repeating, I believe.
Yeah, Repetin bar, as they say. So, you know, unfortunate for WisdomOW. Now, if I'm boosted, by the way, this is what I'm saying in the dressing room, right? I'm saying, listen, guys, we're going to ram it down their throat right now. We're going to run goats. We're going to run goats right into them. And we're going to roll them on point 2. That's what I'm expecting to see here. While I'd love to see dive, I'm expecting them to run some type of goat setup here.
On first, you think?
I think I'd see it on first here. Yeah, either that or they might go back to their double sniper that they were using on defense there. I mean, I'd love to see a Pharah. I want to
see like a pharmacy dive type comp. Yeah, Sombra would look good, but these guys don't seem like they're too attached to goats. So like, I'm hoping we're going to see a little bit of diversity here.
Now, we do have Lokai here on the Ashe, and we do have Zach on the Pharah, so we may be getting what we want. No Sombra, that's fine. I'm all right with that. But we do have the Pharah. I'm ecstatic about this. They do have the Zen, though. This is an interesting pick. I would have expected to maybe see an Ana here, not a Zenyatta, especially if you're not running dive tanks here. Now, Zach swapped over to Hanzo. Flames on Ana now. I think they're going to be running double sniper here. I don't think they're feeling comfortable on the Pharah. Interesting. They're probably thinking, you know, Cyber might be on the Widow here. They are right. Cyber is on the Widow. But again, we have Lumbo back on the Junkerhead here.
This composition looks familiar, does it not?
It might just a bit without the D.Va, right? So we have Wombat now on the Zarya. I like the Zarya better than the D.Va here. Cyber going for an initial pick, nothing though. So, how quick can Lumbo build up the tire? That's the name of the game right here. He is their win condition. Cyber needs to get the picks. And Zach takes out Lumbo. Goodbye. No res on the side of WisdomOW. This is looking bad already for them.
I'm pushing in.
Cyberspace is in deep trouble right now. Delicious is pushing in. Kind of slow right now. They need to just force the point here. They need to get the point, and they need to start putting pressure on them. Shields out and bubbles out on both sides right now. What a purple from Flame. I do not know at this point how Flame is getting an anti on every single push the way she is. I don't get it. Every single, like, the shield was up for the Reinhardt. Where did she throw it? Was it an ML7 nade where she threw it in the air and then it landed on point? That's the only thing I can think of. What a nade.
Another reason to be running D.Va is that you eat the anti reliably. I mean, Zarya can cleanse the anti-effect, but it can't keep it from going on to more than 2 people.
If there's a silver lining right now for the team WisdomOW, it's that they didn't build up a lot of ults on the side of Boosted, by the way. but that's a very tiny silver lining. They have an
7
absolute
minutes.
monstrous task here on their end to hold for 6 minutes and 45 seconds against a team as good as Boosted, by the way, here. This is going to be a tough one for them. That purple, again, by Flame, that is the win condition, it seems, at this point. They don't even need ult. They just need Flame with her purples. And this is going the way of Boosted, by the way. This isn't even close to the point. You know, my player of this map right now is Flame, no doubt, 100%. She absolutely carried on both sides.
With a cooldown. With a cooldown. That's why Ana has such carry potential, even in ladder. You get a huge anti-grenade. It doesn't matter what the supports have. You're killing that front line.
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you what, you know, even on point 2 defense, when they didn't give up a single tick, Flame was there the entire time, absolutely pocketing Delicious. You know, there was multiple times where I'm like, Delicious is going down right here, and the ult comes out there from Flame out of nowhere.
Yeah,
you know?
The nano.
Yeah, I mean, the rate at which she was building up the nano was incredible. So, what a map, though. Boosted, by the way, you know, kind of flexing their muscle here a bit on WisdomOW. I'm kind of wondering what's going on the side of WisdomOW, you know, whether or not maybe we're getting some tilt going on there. I'm not really sure, but, you know, at this point, I'm not liking the way that they're setting their comps up. I don't think Junkrat is the right pick at all. I think, if anything, Junkrat is 100% a liability right now for their team. So,
yeah, and especially with the positioning that we're seeing. And I mean, honestly, if we're going to see Junkrat, I think, you know, this also might be a justifiable Junkrat on the side of Wisdom here.
Yeah. Now, we should say, you know, with that map win right there, Boosted by the way, does take the match win for tonight. Now it just comes down to map differential. Now, if anyone's aware, Season 1, I mean, map differential is very important, you know? Just like in Overwatch League, just like here in Owlet, map differential matters. You can't just be giving up maps. So this is a good opportunity, at least here, for WisdomOW to walk out of here, at least with their heads held up high, and to take a map off of Boosted, by the way. I mean, it's important for their map differential that they do so at this point.
But you can't help but wonder, sort of, if the wind has been taken out of their sails, right? Like you lose 3 straight maps in a row, the last one in a very convincing fashion. It's got to be hard to get the momentum back here.
Yeah, I can't help but agree with you there, Toots. I think they need to pull something out a little bit different here. You know, they've been running pretty much the same comp all night. It hasn't been working. I think they need to change it up here at this point. You know, one of the things that, you know, each team kind of remarked on when it came to like what their challenges were for a team ahead. You know, Boosted, by the way, they basically said, you know, we believe there'll be multiple challenges in the future. You know, obviously WisdomOW is a challenge for them. Every single match is going to be a challenge, but, you know, they have confidence that they're going to be solving these problems quickly. And it seems like they've solved the problem the entire night when it comes to WisdomOW, while WisdomOW kind of hasn't adjusted yet. That's at least what I've noticed. And, you know, one of the challenges for WisdomOW is, you know, adapting to the new meta. That's what they said one of their big challenges is right now. And I'm not necessarily seeing them playing any meta right now, you know?
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't know what sort of meta they're locked into, but I would like to see a little bit more flexibility especially on this map, where sort of you can get away with a lot of stuff. I would love to see some pharmacy defense from those guys. I'd love to see a Sombra. I'd love to see, I mean, who knows, maybe they run double sniper on defense. Like, I think they have a lot of options here, all of which are good, and all of which I think are probably better than Junkrat.
Yeah, I definitely agree. If you're going to be running the Junkrat, I'd rather them, you know, set up with the Orisa and commit to the bunker.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's what they need to do. Go with the Hanzo, go with the Junkrat, hop in a Mercy there, get the Zen for more shield break, go with the Hog and get the Orisa in there, and let's just bunker down. You know, because right now the Junkrat is a liability. Not because Junkrat's a bad pick, not because Junkrat's a bad hero, because he's not, but because the other team is consistently running snipers against them, and they don't have the ability to play their Junkrat behind their Rein shield the entire time, while their Rein is taking the damage and taking the full front force of the Rein and Zarya and the other team. So he's consistently getting picked first by the enemy snipers almost every single time, because he's not able to play in positions where he's actually strong. Now,
I agree.
You know, I don't think we're going to see Junkrat here. I really do hope that we see some Pharah. Pharah is incredibly strong on Eichenwalde, and, you know, Sombra with that Pharah can be very strong. Now, I'm expecting we're going to see dive from both teams come point 2. All right. But I'm concerned right now that WisdomOW may not be able to take point 1. I'm very concerned by that. You know, they struggled on Volskaya taking point 1. They struggled on taking point 2, and they weren't able to take point 2. Eichenwalde point 1 is difficult, and unless you're playing really fast and forcing them to point, or you're playing the more slow comps with, like, let's say a dive and a Pharah, you know, I'm not sure if they're kind of in between pace that they've been playing at right now is going to be effective against the snipers from the side of Boosted by the Way. Now,
Yeah.
Now, it does look like WisdomOW are going to be starting out on defense here with Boosted by the Way on attack. We're going to be rolling out here with the comps here in about 10 seconds. Do you see this stopping anytime soon when it comes to the momentum here from Boosted by the Way?
Well, I think you made a good point, especially when you said you were talking about sort of half measures, half plays, right? Like sort of compositions that were sort of divided in terms of what they're aiming to do. And I really think Wisdom should be aiming for high synergy compositions with a lot of parts that move together and work well together. And we haven't been seeing that up until now. But, you know, who knows? Maybe they're going to turn things around, make some swaps that they need to make, and really go for some heavy synergy that they're going to need to sort of hold and to push through on attack.
Yeah. Now, looking at the comp right now on the side of WisdomOW, I like it better than what they've been running. However, I still think they need to be on the Ana. You know, I'm not a big fan of running the solo heal Zen with the Ryan Zarya here. I think it's relatively weak and it can get pressured down pretty quickly. And it's really going to be on the back of Zach right now from the side of Boosted by the Way to start applying that pressure to their backline and, you know, forcing that Mercy out of the air with her Pharah. So right now we see Yaxem up in the air. As long as he can start putting some damage there onto the tanks, Yaxem's going to have to go back, which is going to open up space for Lokai to put damage on Lumbo here. So let's see what happens. Now, Delicious does look like she's going to be going down, and Delicious does end up going down. So we did talk a little bit about this here.
This is
the res, and this is not looking good. Yeah. So, again, because the Mercy on the side of WisdomOW is forced out of the air to pocket the tanks down on the ground, this reduces the effectiveness of Lumbo and then allows Lokai the space to take, you know, to kind of take, you know, as much space as they want to put pressure on the Pharah, to put pressure on the front line, and they can't sustain through that. So, again, Lokai is taking some very aggressive angles, but we are on dive now. What a shot by Zach. Are we going to get a res here, though, from Yaxem at all? It does not look like it. Yeah, you would think so, but yeah, it's actually, nope, Cyberspace is swapping over to the Widow here, so this is a better pick. I do like that swap. Lokai, though, on the Ashe here is really doing a lot of work right now, very close to Bob at this point. Envy needs to take some space here. They do pressure Lokai. They are going in on a full dive now. They have committed, but Quab is absolutely feeding mech right now to Panda. So, you know, look at the ult here for Panda. They're coming close to a grab.
Investment. Yeah.
And Envy just goes in without his team, and that is not what we were looking for. So Delicious has basically been able to keep their shield up the entire time and just walk forward, you know? They don't even need to hit M1 right now. They're just hitting W, and Lokai with two massive picks there. We need a complete reset here at this point. You're absolutely correct. And Lumbo's only a matter of time before Lumbo gets picked, and Lumbo's down. That's a huge stagger. So we got a ton of ults coming by. They're going to be rolling through on point 2 here, and it does look like Delicious is setting up here for a flank shatter. They're going to walk through, and I don't think they're going to recognize where Delicious is set up, and I think this could be really big here.
I think they're rolling through third for free. Honestly.
Yeah, are they going to contest? Yeah, Winston is going in on point, but Winston overjumps here. They're not on point. The barrage comes in from Zach, and it's big, and it takes out Yaxem, Team-X Quab, and they're going to be able to take point 2 easy. You know, there wasn't even really a fight that was put up there at all by WisdomOW. I think at this point they need to just go back into spawn, reset as a team, tell everyone it's going to be okay, guys. We can still do this. We need to get that, you know, that positivity back into the team and recognize you guys are a good team. You guys can play toe-to-toe here with Boosted by the Way. Just get in there, do your work. You guys can do it.
And slow it down.
They do need to slow it down. Now, the Genji pick is interesting here. I expect Bob's going to be coming out any moment here from Lokai. And here comes Bob. So Bob's going to be putting in a lot of damage here. They're going to be focusing on Bob, but they need a LOS Bob at this point. And yeah, they're just pushing through here. Now Zach's 40% to an ult here. Memory's going to have a trance to sustain, and Flame's probably going to pop Valk here on the engage. They don't have any ults other than the Zen ult here to contest on point. They're going to need to pop it soon. So they are stabilizing here. It looks like they're playing a bit slow on the side of Boosted, by the way, looking for picks. Lumbo might get taken out, but Bobby Smiles does invest the ult at the right time, but Delicious has the perfect charge into Yaxon there, but counterpin there, and Bobby Smiles does take out Delicious. Could they potentially hold here? Envy needs to keep that shield up. Envy gets taken down. Quad, he's probably going to get taken down. Trance comes out from Memory, and it does look like they're going to be able to get this point here. Lumbo's going to be getting taken down any moment here, along with Yaxon. And that is you know, to say convincing, I don't know what other word to really use at this point, Toots, but convincing is definitely the word coming to my mind when it comes to how Boosted, by the way, was able to take all 3 points there.
Yeah, and I mean, Slobberknocker is another. I think, honestly, Wisdom looks like they're in full tilt mode, honestly. You know, we even saw on Street sort of when Envy was going in, Envy making deep dives into the backline with no support and no real disengagement plan. So that was an instant feed. The rest of the team not resetting quickly enough. These are simple mistakes that are easily correctable if someone, the shot caller or anybody on the team, can just say, hey guys, slow it down. Let's make sure we get the fundamentals right and then go from there. Wait for the team to make a mistake. But they're going in, they're trying to make something happen, and it's leading to mistakes on their side.
Yeah, you know, I think at this point, you know, at the beginning of the night, right, we looked at this matchup and we said, man, this is going to be pretty close, right? And, you know, for the first map for Lijiang, it was incredibly close.
It was very close.
You know, Junkertown, even to a certain extent, when Wisdom started to adapt, you know, and change their comp up a bit, it was great. But, you know, I'm seeing right now, it does look like they're just trying to play a bit too fast. And we said this at the very beginning of the night on Control Center. They're playing too fast. They need to just relax a little bit. They need to recognize what their win conditions are, and they need to push forward with those win conditions. Because right now, if we look at the setup right now for Boosted, by the way, they're giving absolutely no respect to Wisdom here. And, you know, you earn respect, right? You earn respect. And this is a mid-table matchup here, and Boosted, by the way, is showing the rest of the league that they're ready, and they're here to win this league. So, you know, looking pretty scary right now on the side of WisdomOW, and the other teams out there better recognize the strength here in Boosted, by the way, because they are looking good right now.
Absolutely.
So it does look like we have Lumbo here on the Genji. We also running a Widow here with Cyberspace, and we get a pick there from Delicious on Yaxon. Looks like a Fire Strike going through, but Delicious overextends, and there is no res on the side of Boosted, by the way. But they're able to clean up anyway. If they get these staggers here, especially on Envy, which they do get, that pick on Delicious isn't going to be too big of a deal. So.
No. Okay, so I have 2 questions about the compositions. On the side of Boosted, what do you think about the double sniper with no mercy? And on the other side, what do you think about Widow into semi-double sniper?
I think right now, you know, running single sniper into double sniper is usually a no-no, unless you have, you know, a sniper who can absolutely carry. And I do believe Cyber's that carry. But they're going to be locking him down. Now, what a pick from Lumbo. Gets right into the backline here. Lumbo's going to have to start putting some pressure on the Zenyatta here, I think. If they can put some pressure on Zen, I think they're going to be good. And Delicious might be going down here. Delicious is out of position again, but Zach is just like, I don't even care about position at this point. I'm just going to hit everyone in the head. And Zach is single-handedly carrying this team on his back here on point 1. That was 4 picks from Zach right there.
Well, a lot of it was cleanup. I felt like they traded Rhines, and Quab was full health. Why did they just keep pushing there?
Yeah, I mean, maybe kind of not recognizing when the opportunity exists. I think that's what it is, you know? A lot of times with a lot of teams, like, you don't recognize when you're at advantage, and they need to take advantage when they're at advantage. So, we get a shatter out. There's going to be a counter shatter here, probably from Delicious here any moment.
Is that a Doomfist?
That is a Doomfist coming in from Cyberspace. Not sure about that pick. I mean, if you think about it, I guess the backline is susceptible to it, but we do have a shatter in from Delicious. The pin on Envy here is probably going to take him out. And we do get the nano, though, on Delicious here, just to make sure that Delicious doesn't go down. We have counterbeat on the side of Yaxum, and Doomfist is coming into the backline. This could be big here, and Lumbo does take out Zach. This is good if they just stabilize just a bit here, but they're not going to be able to. That grab coming in there from Panda was very big, and is exactly what they needed to stabilize, actually. So
yeah,
we've got a minute and a half here. Looking at the alt economy, I still think that Wisdom has a win in their books here if they're just smart with their alt use on this next push. I'm looking for a big purple here, possibly from Bobby Smiles, and I'm looking for a big grab that they should be able to get for free here. But they do need to make some space. I mean, they do have Nanoblade, right? But they need to at least get a grab in here. There's no ult on the side of, or no defensive on their side. Now, the Nanoblade does come in. This is going to be huge. Lumbo takes out the entire back line. Envy's going to be sitting there on point, looking pretty, saying, yes, give me that point, baby. So, you know, maybe an overinvestment in ults. It's kind of hard to say right now. Delicious did have Shatter right there, so maybe they did need to grab Delicious.
Yeah, I think that was a good combo. If they, you know, just for sure take it. You know, like they need that cap. I feel like it's a moral victory at this point.
Yeah, I do agree with you entirely there. That was an excellent push on the side of WisdomOW. Now, looking at this next push here, you know, Envy's coming up on Shatter. Delicious has Shatter already. So this is really going to be a battle of Reinhardts here. Who's the first person to blink? That's what I'm looking for at this point. Now, Lumbo and Cyberspace are putting a ton of pressure on the back line, but Zach, again, just massive with his shots here. But they are getting them on the back line. Cyberspace is out of position. Gosh. And, you know, when you don't have that counter right there, or you don't have that dive.
Boy.
Envy needs to just stabilize, but Bob says, no, sir, and takes out the entire team practically. So, now, again, we're running. Yeah, I mean, I don't know about questionable Shatter. The Bob coming out was fine, but, you know, the real issue that I'm seeing here is that you have Lumbo and Cyberspace who are basically by themselves right now. And you have Lokai and Zach who are just not hitting, you know, not missing shots. So, you know, it's going to be very difficult for them to push into the back line, especially when it's consistently a 4-on-2. So, you know, when they are in the back line, they're in Delicious with... Actually, Delicious is going to get destroyed here. Might actually get pushed off the point. The grab comes in on Yaxon. They're going to beat to sustain this. They need to get out of that grab, or the Dragon's going to take him out, and the Dragon does take him out. And this push is going to be going again in the way of... boosted by the way. So, I do like the swap up here to the Winston. I think this is the right call. I would rather see, though, at this point, a Mercy. We talk about this a lot. You and I have spoken at length about this on Mercy on point 2. When you have the elevation like you have it on this map, the Mercy allows you more utility than the Ana here. Now, they do have a Nano. Maybe we're looking for a Nano Blade. That's the win condition. Now, Envy goes up on Lokai there, pressures out, makes a little bit of space here. They need to watch out for Delicious, though, because Delicious is holding a very strong front line. And the Shatter does come in. Now, purple on Delicious. Are they going to take advantage of this here at all? Now, Blade is going to be coming in from Lumbo any moment now, but he does get taken out by Lokai. So that is huge right there. That was their win condition this push. They need to just salvage this right now, get out, not feed any more ult charge, and then go in decisively. But the problem, again, we have memory with the ult. Nano Blade can go through a Zen ult, but it doesn't always. You have to, you know, you have to basically slash and dash to get it. So
combo needs to be perfect.
Yeah, and you know, with the house spread right now, boosted by the way is playing. I don't know if you even get a lot of value from the Blade. You know, I think the first target here is probably going to have to be Lokai. It's going to have to be somebody on the high ground where we know.
Is easy pickings, though.
Well, if you think about it, right, Memory right now can't trans high ground, so they need to get in there. Now, Envy's going to get deleted. Okay, so yeah, go ahead.
Too early of an engagement again.
Yeah. You know, the timing right now between, at least at this point, Envy and Quab is just not there. Now, big purple on Delicious. They need to take him out, but Lumbo gets taken out by Zach. You know, again, Zach is just not missing shots, and we're down to 3 seconds here. Yaxum's going to get taken out on point here, and that's going to probably be the end of the match here. So, Envy's going to try to stabilize just a bit here, but does get deleted again. They're just not missing shots tonight. Zach and Lokai, at this point, have just said, we're not letting the other team do anything. So, what a job tonight by Boosted, by the way, as this match comes to its climax. So, with that, Boosted, by the way, does take the win, the match win here, 4-0 against WisdomOW. I would say very close the first 2 maps. The last 2 maps, there was a lack of synergy in the comps, and it just looked like the team was playing a bit disjointed. That's at least what I was noticing. What were your takeaways, at least, for the match here, Toots?
Yeah, I agree with you. I honestly, I would even go so far to say that this was a winnable match for Wisdom here. If if they'd managed to be make a little bit more willingness to sort of flex onto different compositions, try different strategies. But at the end of the day, it was really the tilt that killed them in the end.
Yeah.
These sort of disjointed pushes
I
and
don't want to say it's like
overcommitments.
tilt either, though, right? Because we're not sure if they're tilted at all. But you like to think that at least when it came down to it, maybe it was just a lack of communication. I think
Yeah.
that's really what it came down to. Is maybe there was something going on with communication with the team where they were just kind of struggling when it came to the synergy with the comps and maybe the synergy with the dives. So that was kind of my takeaways. Maybe just they were a bit disjointed towards the end, right?
The one thing I will say is that they looked like a different team the last two maps.
Yeah, I've seen WisdomOW play, and they are a phenomenal team. I don't think these last two maps are indicative of how good this team actually is. I mean, to be in 8th place like they're at right now, pretty firmly mid-table. I mean, you're a good team if you're 8th place right now. This league
Absolutely.
is very, very difficult at this point. And, it just goes to show you, looking at these two teams tonight, there could be a division in the majors division right now when it comes to those top tier teams and the teams that are at the bottom right now. So I don't think, from what I saw tonight, WisdomOW is in the bottom half of the league here. I think they're an excellent team. I think they showed a lot of heart tonight.
Absolutely.
And I think they showed that, they've got some DPS players, especially on that team, that can certainly carry them through some of these maps. And I'm talking about Cyberspace in particular. I was incredibly impressed by Cyberspace tonight, especially when it came to the Widow v Widow against Lokai on Junkertown in particular. I don't think that Lokai had a moment to breathe on Junkertown at all tonight. That said, it changed by the end of the night, and Lokai was hitting shots. But not only was Lokai hitting shots, but Zach was right there with him hitting shots as well, So, I guess, any final words? Let's maybe go to players of the match tonight, Toots.
That was exactly what I was going to
ask.
Yeah,
who's your player of the match tonight? Let's do one from both teams here. Who was your player of the match for Boosted by the Way tonight?
I'm afraid I'm going to be stealing it from you, but I don't think it's a problem if we agree. I think Flame. Honestly, even if we just talked about the Volskaya performance with those just disgusting nades to just win fights with not even ultimates, just cooldowns, just abilities.
I agree 100%.
Incredible. But not only that, it was consistent performance every single map. It was incredible.
Yeah. Now, I want to just say a little bit about Flamia. So Flamia was actually drafted by Microsoft Excelsior in Season 1 and was a DPS player who actually converted to support. Jonak was also a DPS player who converted to support. Now, I'm not saying Flame is Jonak or anything like that, but the performance from her tonight was impeccable. I mean, at no point did I ever feel like Delicious was in danger, And that's what's so strong about their synergy right now in their team. So Delicious, at no point did he ever, go down without an excellent play from the other team, right? It always felt like Flame was completely in control of keeping him up the entire time. So 100% agree with you. My player of the match for Boosted by the Way was 100% Flamia. Player of the match right now for you on the side of WisdomOW.
I liked what I was seeing from Lumbo. I think Lumbo got a lot of work done on DPS, a lot of work done on Genji, a lot of work done on Pharah. I really think that there was a lot of really highlight reel worthy plays out of Lumbo for the all of the maps, really. That blade at the end, right? The nano blade.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you there. Lumbo was huge, and I don't want to downplay either Cyberspace, though. I think the 2 DPS for WisdomOW are incredible. So I'm going to give my player of the match, at least at this point, to Cyberspace for WisdomOW. I thought his Widow was insane on Junkertown. And throughout the night, I mean, it just seemed like when the team needed a pick, he was there to get the pick, right? And, while Lumbo was there with the alts, and he was definitely farming Blade pretty quickly, I think Cyberspace was important for those in-between fights when they were trying to farm. So there was a lot of fights where I felt like, I wasn't sure if they were going to be able to win them. They didn't really have the alt economy going into them, but Cyberspace basically said, I'm going to carry you guys on my back. Now, Zach on Boosted, by the way, also did that, especially I felt like on Eichenwalde. Zach kind of stepped up. I think that was his kind of I think that was his moment on point 1. And, how many times did Zach cancel an ult tonight from, again, with just a shot to the face, right? DPS players on both teams popping off. The support players on Boosted by the Way are just another level though. So letting their tanks just do whatever they wanted tonight is what I saw.
Shout out to the tanks. We saw some really good tank play tonight. It is not easy to do the Rhine v Rhine battle, and I think Envy really had his work cut out for him tonight. I think even just to stay on Reinhardt and keep a level head into sort of all that they were dealing with, I think is very impressive.
But with that said, we are going to be concluding our coverage of the Boosted by the Way against WisdomOW. Again, Boosted by the Way taking the match 4-0 in a closely contested match. Score doesn't say everything. With that said, I'd like to thank Camden, our production tonight, and Toots, my co-host. So again, Toots and Camden, thank you so much, guys. All right, welcome back. So we're actually going to be doing some post-match interviews tonight. My name is Futmob. I'm here with Toots, and we're joined right now by Killswitch, the coach for WisdomOW. So Wisdom, tough loss tonight for you, or not Wisdom, but Killswitch, tough loss for you guys tonight, 4-0. But man, it felt like at least in the first map, this was going to be pretty close. This is going to be a hotly contested match here. So can you talk to me a bit about the kind of mood in the camp tonight after the match?
Well, so the basically what ended up happening is, like you said at the beginning, it was very competitive and it was good. I feel like what the problem ended up happening was that most of the players got more demoralized. And you'll be able to see at one point in, I think it was Volskaya, and that's when Boosted started really taking control.
Yeah.
I feel like the first part of the match was really well fought for us, and I feel like the biggest thing that I'm going to be focusing on with the team is just making sure that they can keep their attitudes up even through tough losses.
Yeah,
'Cause I feel like we definitely could have won that if we had kept our heads up and played at our best.
you're preaching to the choir here for sure, Killswitch. Toots and I had kind of identified during the match. It did seem like the team maybe tilted just a bit there towards the end because, looking at the match at the very beginning, I mean, we were thinking this was going to be going down to the wire here.
Yeah,
you guys
looked so close.
Yeah, you guys looked very, very good in the beginning, especially on Lijiang. The one thing we were maybe pointing out more than anything was that there's maybe some lack of synergy with the comps that you guys were running tonight. We weren't sure kind of what the goal was, and it felt like they were kind of like in the middle a bit, So what we mean by that is like, you guys are trying to pull out comps that were maybe kind of jack of all trades comps, where you're like, we're gonna try to, account for this and account for that, but really when it comes down to it, sometimes you just have to, pick a comp that's not ideal and hope for the best on the other side and just play it better. So can you talk to us a bit about maybe the comp selections? And I'm thinking more so along the lines of the Junkrat on Junkertown and the Junkrat on Volskaya, what the thought process was behind those comps.
Well, so we didn't, in total, our time to prepare for this match wasn't as much as usual, as well as the fact that when we were looking over VODs and old scrims, we saw that Boosted were playing a lot of, they were really playing a lot of comps that we hadn't played against before.
Mm-hmm.
And so a lot of our players and the coaches, we were really worried about like whether we were going to be able to actually do anything against those comps.
Mm-hmm.
And so what we decided was we had a couple of pre-made strats that we were going to try and run against them, as well as we told the players that if you ever get if you ever feel like what we told you to do isn't working, just try and go to a comfort pick, which you feel like works best with the comp that the team is overall running.
Okay,
Yeah.
Gotcha.
That makes sense.
And so
that's what it looked like a bit, like comfort picks for sure. I totally get that. So yeah, I mean it's important to empower the team like that. So
yeah, and I mean at one point, when the team kind of just starts feeling like they're not doing anything in comps, they stop doing the job. For one example was like maybe like a Reinhardt, right? If a Reinhardt's not able to get a ton of value, they might start feeling like they're not playing well and then start playing even worse. So we just told them, like, if you really want to, just go to your comfort picks if like that's what you feel like is the right call, because that was the best way that we could think of winning this one.
Yeah, no, I definitely get that. I think that's important for sure. So moving forward here, then you guys take the loss, but you guys came off a really impressive win against Power Naps the other day. So I mean, you guys are 1-1 on the weekend, so that's got to feel pretty good, Obviously, splitting the difference, you guys are no worse nor better. So moving into week 3 here, you said that the main focus is going to be on making sure that the team's attitude is correct going in. How do you plan on kind of like working that in? I mean, are you just team meeting sessions, things like that? I mean, what's the plan of action here for the team moving forward?
I feel like the biggest thing that I want to try and show is just team synergy. Like, because what you'll find is that the more synergized that your team is, the easier it is for them to help each other whenever they get tilted, or whenever their attitude attitude like starts to shift. Because if the entire team knows each other very well and they're all like good friends outside of just playing in matches,
Mm-hmm.
then it'll be a lot easier for them to like really talk to each other and for them to take each other's advice of being like, hey, you should just calm down. It's fine. We can win the next game. Stuff like that. So I'm going to be working on team synergy mostly.
Okay, so it sounds like you're talking a lot about what I think of as team culture, right? Like sort of this idea of having sort of a friendship that exists outside of the match environment. How do you try to foster something like that? I think there are a lot of players and a lot of coaches out there that are sort of wondering, sort of, how do we do stuff outside of the game? What do we do outside of the game that really kind of, bonds us and reinforces this sort of relationship that we have outside of the matches?
Okay, so two things are the biggest ones. One of them is which I haven't quite done with this team yet, but that I do quite normally, which is to just get the entire team to play together, but don't play Overwatch, play like a different game.
Okay.
Because the thing is that when you're constantly just playing Overwatch, you just start seeing them as like you're basically just your Overwatch teammates, right?
Mm-hmm.
But once you start playing other games with them, you start seeing them more as friends versus just people who you play with in Overwatch.
Yeah.
Because
what games
then
do you play?
Well, just basically, what I'll normally do is I'll ask the team what games do they have in common that they own. Normally, it'll be like free games a lot of the times because, of course,
you guys need
that
to
way a
get
lot
on
of teams will be able
that
to
Dead by Daylight is what you need. Dead by
Yeah.
Daylight.
I can't.
I-
Even, like,
I don't
so,
know if
like-
it's still free, but man, that game is hilarious with a group of friends.
Yeah. So, like I used to play on my last team. I used to get the entire team together, and we just like have sets of them play like Destiny 2.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And so it's like stuff like that. And the other one is just one of my favorite things to do is have like storytelling sessions, which works really well, where everyone just gets on and basically just talks about random stuff and like tells stories. Because with that, really, like, it just really helps build that bond between everyone on the team, and it really just makes them feel a lot more comfortable with talking to each other and like confronting each other if one of them is like in a bad mood or something.
Yeah.
So it's like those are the main ways that I try to like build synergy for the team, and it actually really helps when in the game to have players who are very good friends with each other, because then it's much easier for them to listen to each other and play together and trust each other.
Now, I'll say this. You guys did a great job tonight. I know it's an unfortunate outcome for you guys. You guys were obviously looking for the win. You're looking for a decisive win tonight. But I'll say this. Long season, you guys are going to be facing up against them again, So we've got a rematch probably coming in stage 2 here. Talk to me. What can we look forward to in the rematch between you guys in stage 2?
I mean, what you're going to be able to look forward to is a bunch of really weird strategies. I'll just tell you that.
Okay, so we're going to be changing up. Are you saying that you're going to be bringing some spice into our life a bit?
Some
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Yes.
That's what we love to see. I mean, we hate seeing the goats all day long. You guys didn't run too much goats, so we did love that. Neither team really did.
Like I'm one thing that I'm very good at as a coach in general is I have very spontaneous ideas for just random strats, and like when refined, they can be quite good. Right now, me and Ryderus, the other coach, we're focusing more on helping our players with more of the basic things, so that we can build that base up. But come stage 2, we'll have had like 1 free month and the rest of this stage. So expect to see a very much so refined version of this team.
I can't wait to see what you guys roll out.
Yeah, we're going to be casting a lot more matches, and I can't wait to cast the rematch. I'm going to be requesting the rematch between WisdomOW and Boosted, by the way, because I do feel, even though the match line was 4-0 today, I think it could have easily been 2-2. or at least maybe like 3-1 or something like that. And I think this is going to be
way closer than the score set or than the score indicates. That's
yeah.
for sure.
Get those players, get their heads up, man, because I'm telling you right now, it was an absolute blast to watch you guys play. And I'll tell you right now, you got something special on your side with Lumbo and Cyberspace. Cyberspace's Widow was disgusting on Junkertown tonight. So
Lumbo is like, Lumbo's really good. So you guys have to keep an eye out for him in the future.
He was our player to watch at the beginning of the match, and he did not disappoint tonight. So, so we appreciate you coming on here, Killswitch. We're going to be moving on with our next interview with Delicious from Boosted, by the way. But again, Killswitch, thanks for coming on and having the interview with us tonight.
That's great. See you guys later, and hope you guys get to cast the rematch.
Yeah, absolutely.
We hope so too.
Have a nice night.
You too.
So we have the pleasure of bringing on Delicious here with Boosted, by the way. So Delicious, talk to me. How's the momentum, or at least the mood with the camp tonight after the win?
Yeah, it's pretty good. Like we thought it was going to be like a close match from the first map.
So did we.
Yeah. So I'm like a bit disappointed. Like we kind of, like our DPS players like Zach and Luke, I really did.
Say that again, Delicious. You said your DPS player is Zach and Lokai.
Yeah, like they popped off. Like I think they.
Yes, they did.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I will say this. I wasn't sure when it came to Junkertown because I did feel like Cyberspace had the advantage on Lokai pretty much for the entirety of Junkertown. But it was almost like it was a wake-up call for Lokai because right after Junkertown, I mean, he just wasn't dying at all, and he was getting every single pick first pretty much every single map. So what do you think, at least tonight for you guys, Delicious, was your key to victory? Was it your DPS play? Was it the team synergy? Was it shot calling? Was it a combination of things? What do you think the key to victory was for you guys tonight?
It was probably the DPS players. Like I really didn't do like a whole lot. Like
Hey,
like,
now I saw some
most
good
of
tank
them
play
are.
tonight.
Yeah, but like like most of my plays like rely heavily on like the first map where we play goats. But like outside of that, like I didn't really do much.
Now,
The setup. You guys put in work. All of you put in work. The support and tanks especially.
yeah. Now I will say we gave the player of the match for Boosted, by the way, actually to Flamia. We thought she played incredible tonight, and I'm going to tell you right now, I felt like she was making it so like you were never going to die. It seemed like every time you were about to die, she was there with the nano for you. I can't count on both hands how many times it seemed to happen on Volskaya Industries in particular, where I was like, Delicious is going down here, and then the nano comes out of nowhere, and she's able to keep you up. And those anti-nades from her were massive tonight.
Yeah, and
so
you guys capitalized on those so well too. This like the timing of you guys seizing the opportunity of the anti. I think we saw some really good coordinated play tonight.
Yeah, she played really good.
Yeah. So, I guess at this point, we're done with week 2 here. You guys end the week, at least with 2-0, right? So you guys won both matches this week. Going into week 3, what can we expect from Boosted, by the way? Or do you guys have any interesting strats up your sleeve that you just don't want to talk about right now that maybe you guys have been working on there in the kitchen?
Not really. Like I don't even know the maps that we're gonna play.
Oh gosh, okay. So you guys basically just went out there and won it tonight and just ended
Playing
up winning.
fast and loose.
Yeah, fast and loose is what it sounds like. So, nothing wrong with that. So, Toots, at this point, I mean, I loved watching Boosted, by the way, tonight. You guys looked absolutely incredible. If you would say, like, maybe at this point, maybe some things that you think you guys need to work on going into week 3, what do you think they might be at this point, Delicious?
Getting good.
Getting good. I mean, if the playing by the what is the term? How do you say it? Playing loose and free like you guys are. It seems like the mentality is also loose and free with the team as well, which is good to hear. Delicious. So, yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing you guys next week. I don't know who you guys play next week, but I'm sure that you guys will find out about 10 minutes before the game
No, I
starts, right?
think we play Burn, Huey's team.
Okay. Well, at least
you
you
got
know
that
who you're
figured
playing.
out.
Yeah, you got that figured out. We need to figure out what the maps are, I'm sure, as well. And again, you might find out a little bit before the match starts, so that's good to hear.
We know Empress and Yomega are the coaches, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we know them. They're going to be all over you guys with the
Yeah.
strats and the maps, all of that stuff. You guys
I'm sure they had a little bit of a hand in your guys' Bastion strat in the corner. Maybe they didn't. I don't know. I mean, was that something you guys came up with on the fly to sit in the corner there with the Bastion on Junkertown?
No, we actually tried that once in a scrim. Like, I don't personally like it because it's like too much cheese and it can get like punished like super easy.
Oh, of course, yeah.
We 100%
yeah.
agree with you there. We were talking about it on the cast of the weaknesses with the particular strat, but the one thing we do love about it is the creativity of it. It's always fun when you pull out something different. Whether or not it works is a different story, but it was definitely fun to see it. That's for sure. So, yeah. So I guess at this point, Toots, you have any more questions for Delicious?
No, just thank you for the show.
Yeah, it was 100% absolute show tonight. You guys really put in the work, and you guys got the victory to show for it. So, Delicious, we appreciate you coming on tonight for the post-match interview.
Yeah, thank you, and thank you for your work on the casting.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Happy to.
Yep. All right, guys. Again, this is Futmob. That's Toots, and thank you to Camden and the production team. I think that's probably all for the cast tonight. Toots, any closing words?
Thanks and good night, folks.
Good night, folks.